There's one guy who has become a little bit too undeniable within WWE's competitive ranks, and something may need to be done about it. Yet WWE officials seem to be doing maybe not enough to capitalize on it. In the immediate aftermath of WrestleMania 41, Sam Roberts and Megan Morant were doing a podcast breaking the show down backstage. Karrion Kross stormed in and cut a career-making promo, one that didn't make it outside of the social media realm and onto TV, but certainly one that caught a lot of attention. In that explosive promo, he completely ripped into AJ Styles, but more importantly, seemed to take some heavy shots at WWE itself and everything that the wrestling business stood for, and it wasn't standing behind him. And he had a real issue with that. Kross was intensely angry, and it connected with fans and got them behind his cause. Is WWE sleeping on an in-ring killer in their midst? Are they sleeping on Karrion Kross? This is Sportskeeda Wrestling. I'm Kevin Kellum. As someone who has interviewed Karrion Kross in the past, I am genuinely terrified for what he's going to do next. What is your fantasy booking for Kross? Get in the comments and let us know. Hit the like button and subscribe to Sportskeeda Wrestling and get us to 200,000 subscribers. Kross's story with the phenomenal AJ Styles heading into WrestleMania this year was far deeper than just being a devil on AJ's shoulder, which is still a pretty cool supporting role to play. It was about who they both represented, the true wrestler, the wrestler who had nothing handed to them but earned absolutely everything through injuries, triumphs, and tragedies, the wrestler who spent decades honing their craft, traveling the world, sacrificing their bodies, close relationships, and the biggest possible moments in their life, the anniversaries, the holidays, all of it, to live the wrestling life, and well, life. The life of the quintessential pro wrestler is a grueling one, and the payoff is far from guaranteed. AJ Styles represents maybe some of the biggest success stories in that path, but he's more of the exception than the rule. Heck, even Karrion Kross is an exception solely because of the, arduous path he took to his current WWE role and the hefty paycheck that probably comes with it. But it's not about the money. It's about what it stood for. You can't place a monetary value on sacrifice. It takes so much to reach this stage and to stay there. And Karrion Kross was trying to convey that to AJ Styles, who is set to face Logan Paul, the outsider celebrity who is still a great wrestler but is still seen as an outsider celebrity who has jumped the line. Logan Paul is the antithesis of the quintessential wrestler's wrestler. He had a seamless transition through mainstream popularity through his massive platforms to immediately being a featured player in WWE. He represented the new age celebrity, sorry Gen Z, this is the truth. Because of his relationship with WWE in a win-win kind of partnership, he never really had to worry about cutting his teeth and working his way up, or even trying to find his way through NXT. He was immediately in the big picture, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, every major premium live event. Around this time, people were talking about whether or not Logan Paul would be a part of it. And that's exactly why Karrion Kross was trying to talk some sense into the veteran AJ Styles. Karrion Kross wasn't naive to the brutal nature of the wrestling business. He's obviously a smart man who's saying a lot of things but not telling you everything he knows. In a way, it's a microcosm of the real world where trampling over others is rewarded, while maybe morality, empathy, and virtue don't get you as much as you might deserve, at least in a career setting. Yeah. Sorry, this may be depressing to some of you young people that maybe are still in college or high school. That's why Karrion Kross told AJ Styles to embrace the idea of needing to do whatever it took to beat Logan Paul. Because Logan Paul, one, it would shatter everything that Karrion Kross and other wrestlers stood for and defended. It would shatter the idea that they need to earn something and pay their dues and grind it out for years just to get a shot at the big time. And when you consider the big time is a pool of sharks, it's easily justifying the needing to do some underhanded tactics to win matches. You see, Karrion Kross doesn't think he's a bad guy. He thinks you're a bad guy if you don't do bad guy things. I know that seems convoluted, but think of it in practice. AJ Styles refused to break his own morality and squander his virtues and do things the right way, but it didn't pay out for him, and maybe, this could be one of his most significant WrestleMania losses. Everything he worked for, gone. The Logan Pauls of the world, who can walk in and have a carpet laid out for them and have the idea of their entitlement reinforced by wins over legends like AJ Styles. The damage is already done. And that's when Karrion Kross pointed out the ultimate reality of what it is to be a good soldier and do what's asked of you. Yeah, we're now kind of pulling back the curtain and being even more suggestive of things that maybe Karrion Kross is not happy about. He revealed that when he spoke with WWE Hall of Famer Goldberg a few years ago and asked for advice, Goldberg told him to be a good soldier. Karrion completely scorched that idea. He scoffed at it. And then he went and dropped the ultimate reality pipe bomb. Yes, this was a pipe bomb. After telling the man in the suit and tie to go F himself, he had to storm away while even Scarlett, yes, his very strong confidant and wife, tried to calm him down. This was something so incredible, so meaningful, and it was a breath of fresh air. Wrestling fans love a shooty style promo. This was something that was quite incredible, meaningful, and also was a deviation of other things that WWE was doing. This played into the natural naysayers of WWE's overall creative vision, which despite undeniable success under Triple H and his team, has caused waves of isolated yet loud internet backlash. This is a gnarly statement by Kross that was only online, and it crossed into the is he really saying that about his boss territory? Are we being worked by a character who's upset, or are we seeing a man portraying a character who's sharing his genuine discontent? It appears that both of these things are very true, and Kross knows the psychological fire that he has started within the wrestling fan base. Even before WrestleMania, Karrion Kross was eliminated from the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, kind of a holding program for a lot of successful people in WWE who apparently aren't so successful that they can make it to the WrestleMania main card. And the crowd was furious. This was Karrion Kross not getting a big win in Las Vegas, his hometown, on a WrestleMania where he was going to play a supporting but outside of the ring role. Now he wasn't even winning the consolation prize match. He pointed out this reaction from the fan base during his bombshell promo, and he has every right to feel this way and feel frustrated. There was no denying that there was a very real sense to this promo with some very honest anger, and the fact that nothing has come of it just yet is sort of mind-boggling, but it's just yet. There could be big things in store for Karrion Kross and WWE in the future as we record this, but that's the future. Instead, Karrion Kross is being used in commercial break promos on Raw on Netflix and having his subtle foreshadowing of kind of appearances backstage. He deserves so much more, but this is WWE, where every single minute of TV time is something that every single talent is fighting for. Yeah, he deserves regular TV time and a chance to show the WWE Universe what he's made of, what the muscle and the mind that he's presenting can do. It took him a while to get running after he returned a few years ago to WWE, but in the last year he has quietly been having some of the best character work on WWE television. It has gotten unnoticed outside of social media's bubble, and there are starting to be fans that feel like he deserves a more pushed presence to all fans on television. Karrion Kross is entering the prime of his career, and it would be maybe criminal if WWE decided to squander that opportunity. Still, it's kind of naive. Yes, it is naive to approach WWE as suppressing him. Yeah, when he's still under contract with the company, and it's really just a circumstantial complaint that WWE has simply so many talented people that have connected with the audience in their own ways, like Kross, who simply don't get to be presented as the ruthless entertainers in the most proper spotlight that they may deserve. Karrion Kross, in a recent update on social media himself, says that the higher-ups in WWE are now listening to the fan uproar around him and the recent tumultuous changes in his career. Now, how they will respond, that is what we have to see next. Outside of WWE, he's put out his own biographical book, released a documentary on YouTube about his hectic WrestleMania week in Vegas, and his breaking baseball bats as a Brazilian jiu-jitsu whiz. He's a talented, dangerous, driven individual who is one of those capable talents of being WWE's next great conniving, manipulative villain who can play the mind games to get the match in the ring and leave the fans waiting with bated breath. But should WWE wait any longer? According to a recent report by Fightful, Kross, who has had success outside of WWE on the independent circuit, is in a contract year. How soon is his contract up? It's not exactly clear. So is WWE going to lose out on another former NXT champion on the main roster, or is Kross going to take his killing business elsewhere? Let us know what you think in the comments below. What do you want to see happen with Karrion Kross? Get in the comments, let us know. Also, if you watched this long and you didn't subscribe yet, subscribe to Sportskeeda Wrestling for more great videos just like this.